We're gonna build a truck. And I'm gonna do it as cheap as I can. Cheap. What we've got is a 1962 C10. I got it from my daycare provider for my kids, and I picked it up for $1,000. So it does have some rust and some holes, but for the most part, it's pretty solid. You have to excuse the mess. I have 2 toddlers. It's all original. It was an original 3-speed on a tree truck. And the bedwood's gone, obviously, but the frame doesn't look bad. The whole truck is there. It's going to take some work. It has no wiring. But my goal with this truck is, with 2 kids in daycare, and I don't have a whole lot of disposable income. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to build this as cheap as we can, get on the road, get it running, driving, be able to have some fun without breaking the bank. So there are some other things, such as when I bought the truck, they also had bought a 1987 K10 with a 350 in it. So he was like, hey, if you want this truck too, that will be $400. And I was like, all right, fuck, I'll take them both. So I'm in both of them, $1,400. I ended up pulling the motor out, and it ran and drove. I drove it on a trailer. We pulled the motor out, and I ended up selling the truck without a motor for $600. So now I am in this truck, $800, and I have a motor. So I'll make a cost breakdown and everything like that of how much I have into it and everything. But I've also picked up some parts along the way. I've had this truck since March, and I just really haven't touched it. But I have 2 transmissions, an automatic and a manual. And I bought some other miscellaneous parts that I did not have that I would need. So here's the motor. My wife picked out the colors. We went with a orange copper base with blue accents. And with it being an 87, that means it was the first year of the throttle body fuel injection, which I didn't want. I don't have money to put a fuel management system in this thing. It has no wiring. So we're going to take it back to carbureted. Now, luckily, a coworker of mine, big into V8s, had a lot of spare parts that I ended up picking up really cheap. So Dave did have some parts. He had these headers. He had this starter because my starter broke. He also had a distributor with cap, and I have an extra cap and wires. He also had his Edelbrock intake manifold for carburetor. So we're able to use that and make this back to a carbureted motor. So I picked all those up for $50. So now my total in this truck is $850. The next week, he told me he had an extra transmission, so we got this 400 trans with the torque converter for $100. So now my total in the truck is $950. And I had picked up this 5-speed S10 trans previously, months ago, for $50 out of a junkyard. So I could sell either one of those depending on which one I'm using. I'd like to go 5-speed, maybe record a 5-speed truck. But as of right now, again, we're going for cheap. I don't want to buy a clutch, flywheel, pressure. I don't want to buy all that. So we're going to use the 400 trans. So now I'm in the truck, $950. The motor does run. So now our goal is to basically get the hood off, start making clearance, and see if we can get the motor trans together and in the truck. Sorry about that horn in the last video. My son got into my car and was just beeping the horn. Anyway, the way we're gonna get the hood off is I'm here by myself. So I have a strap going here, over the front, to the roof, back on the back, to right here in this hook. Hopefully this gives me enough leverage and stability to lift the hood off once I undo the bolts, and I can put it up in the ceiling and get out of the way. All right, so it's off. Now, we will put transmission to the motor and put it in. But that might be all for today. So I'll let you guys know when I work on it again and post another video.